Everybody. Thanks, Jesse. So welcome to the Monday, July 25th public hearing on the local law to expand residency allowance of appointed offices of deputy clerk, code enforcement, and deputy highway superintendent. And so I hereby open the public hearing and invite comments from anybody that wishes to speak about this proposed local law. You'll have 3 minutes to provide comments. So if you're in Zoom land, there's an additional participant that came into the waiting room. Raise your Zoom hand and we'll recognize you. And Mr. Hoyt.
Thank you. You want me to stand for television land?
You can just address the board, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
If you stand and address the board, it'd be great.
I think this needs to be said, it's been said before, but I do think it needs to be pointed out in the context of trying to expand the geographic range of potential applicants for some of these town positions. In the case of code officer, the town doesn't have a real good record in terms of hiring and retention. And it seems to me it's because of that, you have to expand the pool geographically and in terms of, wider range, more people as well. If I were on the board, I would be more interested in trying to figure out and address the reasons why we can't keep code officers rather than coming up with what is now the second stopgap measure to try to rather than face the problem head on to try to mitigate it by just casting a wider net. So that's my comment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak to this, Mr. Swansboro?
So I agree with expanding. I hate to say it, but I think that, we do have to do the surrounding counties. But I think we should put preferential treatment on people who live in the town of Caroline, because we care about our community more than somebody else outside of our community is going to care about our community. And that's how I feel about that.
Okay, thank you. So there's no one else in the town hall. There are a number of people attending remotely. Does anyone wish to address the board about tonight's? Excuse me,
Michael Brown.
does he have his hand up? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
There's a white hand above his name.
Mine's green.
Oh.
Oh, maybe that's a cursor.
Yeah, that's my microphone.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
cursor.
that's the cursor.
There's nobody with me.
Okay.
No one to speak, Jesse?
No. Okay.
Well, seeing no hands in Zoom land, I will close the public hearing on this local law. And with that, I will open tonight's town board special meeting and offer a resolution to adopt a local law amending and restating local law 1 of 2020. Excuse me?
Can we salute the flag? Can we salute the flag?
I guess so. Okay, great.
Well, in the town board meeting, right?
Well, okay.
It's a
So
special meeting.
it's a special meeting, meeting's in progress and you're interrupting the meeting. So
Will there be a privilege to the floor?
no, there will not. I didn't put privilege on the floor on tonight. This is a special meeting primarily focused on public hearing, so, and the adoption of the local law.
Okay.
So with that, I will offer a resolution to adopt local law amending and restating local law 1 of 2020 as local law, whatever it is, of 2022 to extend geographic area for eligibility as town of Caroline public officers. And I will open that for board discussion. just to remind everyone, we did after the public hearing last week on this local law, we did amend it to specify these 3 appointed officers to provide clarity on that issue.
As I said last week, I support this local law. And I will vote for it.
Okay. Yeah, I will just address, yeah, I support this. So I will point out that finding people to fill this position is a struggle in other municipalities in Tompkins County. I think this is only a good thing for the town in expanding the pool of applicants. And I think the town board has discretion to, in their hiring process to evaluate each applicant based on their experience and their qualifications. So I feel good about that. This is again a revision of a local law change we made in 2019, where there was a lot of discussion similar to what we've heard around this one about how far we expanded. Do we expand it to the state, to surrounding counties? And so this is, in this case, we're going from the town and surrounding towns to the county and surrounding counties. And so it's a bit of adjustment, and I think it makes sense functionally, and I think it'll serve the town well. So.
Yeah, I don't think there's much discussion to be. I mean, it seems like a very simple, very straightforward situation. I agree that the preferential, like if we were to have equal candidates and one is a town resident and one is not, then like absolutely I support, hiring a person who lives in the town of Caroline, as has been mentioned. So I totally support that. And I don't think there's a lot of extensive discussion required for this personally.
Okay. Did you want to speak, Cal? No, you're ready to call a vote?
Yep.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yep.
Tim got the second. Seconded by Tim. And well, without further ado, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Great. The resolution passes unanimously. So I will proceed to offer resolution authorizing contractual support for the contractual support services for the town historian. And very simple resolution based on a request from the town historian. Resolve, the Caroline Town Board hereby authorizes the contractual support services for the town historian from Julie Gross at $16.29 per hour.
Second that.
Second by Cal. And questions or discussion? So this, I did speak with Barb about this. There's something that you have to consider is whether it's an employment position or contractual services. So she's envisioning this as contractual services for a specified amount of work. It'll probably go into 2023, but I told her we can manage, appropriately, and we should probably get a budget request for what she expects in 2023, so we can put that in our.
And just what is expected will be done for the contract.
Say that again.
Just what will be expected that she's being contracted to do A, B, C, D.
Yeah, right. Specified.
Yep.
Services. Yep. So
And this falls within the existing budget of the town historian.
it does, and I think the town historian does have a contractual budget, and I feel like if the amount of work exceeds that amount this year, then that's a conversation, and I'm pretty sure we can manage that. So that's what I told Bart. So, great.
Sounds good.
The other thing I'll add is that the letter from the History Club mentioned attention to archiving, digital archiving. And I have discussed that in the past with Barb, and I think that we should recommend and facilitate engagement with the county who does the Laserfish and makes that it's a great service, and the court's been doing that. So I think that would be a tremendous opportunity, so that we shouldn't ignore. So.
I've had some conversations with them over the past week. Since I'm very involved in digital archivization. And I'm willing to point them towards various state and national grants that they might be able to apply for.
Okay,
Not for microfiche, but for digitization, which I think is a preferable practice.
which is the preferable?
Digitization, preferable practice.
Get it digitized and copies of things that just only exist here, and
Right.
if something happens,
I mean, the chances of them getting a grant or one, but you never know.
Somebody's gonna
If
get
they
it.
have the energy, they should apply.
Mhm.
Somebody's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Great. Great, okay. Any other thoughts?
No.
Before I call for a vote? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. So I will now offer a motion to enter executive session to discuss personnel matters with the code enforcement.
Okay, so it's about code enforcement.
Yep.
Second.
Seconded by Tim, and all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, well, we're now entering executive session to discuss personal matters